Well, hello Hard Rockers. We're heading out to Black Hills State this weekend. We had a good week of training last week, and so now we're going to take a group out to Black Hills State. We won't run our full squad this week. We're going to run probably 6 men and 7 women. Keep things a little bit smaller, have some folks focus on training this week while some others get a chance to get another race in. They're going to be running a short course at Black Hills State for the men, meaning that they're only running 6,000 meters for the race instead of the usual 8,000 meters. So that'll work out well though. This is a very challenging course, a lot of up and down to it. It's out at Spearfish Canyon Country Club, and so it's a tough challenge for the guys this week. The ladies will run 5,000 meters. This will be one of their last chances to run 5,000 meters before we get to the region and the conference format where we run 6,000 meters. So it should be a good test for us. We'll be relying a lot on some of our underclassmen this week to put some good times in and some good performances. So it should be fun. I talked with Black Hills State's coach a little bit earlier this week and this weekend, and he was telling me they're going to run a modified squad this week as well. So we should have some good competition. Black Hills State, Shadron, and MSU Billings will all be there. This will be a debut week for MSUB, so we're not really sure what they have, but we have a pretty good idea what everyone else has, and we're looking forward to the matchup.
In soccer, traveled down to Texas this weekend. Tough trip, definitely faced a lot of adversity with the heat, the travel, limited roster, limited equipment, you know, as much as we could get on the plane. Came out in our first game against Texas A&M International, 0-0 at halftime. We were really pleased with. We thought we could do more. Second half, Texas A&M came out and scored first. We quickly responded with the George Martinez goal. And then afterwards, we dropped off a little bit. Texas A&M International scored twice, putting it at 3-1. And we kept coming back. Hayden Jaramillo, he scored with about 20 minutes left. We switched up our formation, try and get the third one back. Unfortunately, it didn't fall, and we were inches away. Phil Liano, with probably about 40 seconds left, had a free kick right outside the 18-yard box. For me, I was almost 100% sure that he was going to score it, just like he did against St. Cloud 2 weekends ago. And then, unfortunately, it hit the bottom of the crossbar, bounced off the line, and bounced out. So, you know, we were knocking on the door. We were happy with it. Texas A&M International's traditionally a really good team. You know, they proved that they're a good team this last week, and our whole goal out of that game was to not beat ourselves, but if they were going to win, that they had to beat us and beat us outright. And they came out and did that, and narrowly escaped our attack. Saturday, we played against St. Mary's University in San Antonio. We started off the game strong. We scored 2 minutes into the game, another George Martinez goal. He's got 4 in 4 games now. So we were happy with that. Unfortunately, we just ran out of legs and couldn't keep the lead. St. Mary's scored about 10 minutes later. And we could just feel the fatigue. The heat was getting to us, the long traveling, obviously. You know, it was tough, and we used all of our subs. Went into halftime 1-1, came out of the break, started off pretty hyped up, and that fatigue kicked in again. And unfortunately, we scored 2 own goals on ourselves. And ended up losing the game 3-1. But really happy with the guys, not necessarily happy with the outcome, but the way that we pressed through and tried to, you know, break through that adversity that we faced is something that we have to be proud of. You know, this team is different than the past years. They just have that grittiness to them and the heart and the willingness to get better and you know, be a team. And that's something that we really look forward to this season. And you know, we hope to keep the streak going and keep the fire lit and come out against Billings on Wednesday at 4 o'clock and beat them and get our second win of the season.
Do you just want to talk about real quick how important it is to get, you know, a quick start against Billings and then head into conference play?
Yeah, a quick start against Billings would be huge for us. If, you know, games this year have either been we've scored in the first 8 minutes, we've got scored on in the 8 minutes, or we went into halftime tied. You know, so getting one early on Billings would definitely, hopefully, drop them down a little bit. And then if we can keep that momentum rolling and put them away early, it would be key. Obviously we want to go into halftime up 2 or 3 goals and really assert that dominant performance against them. But we do know that they're a tough team. They beat Texas A&M International 3-2 in overtime. They lost to Colorado Mesa 1-0 in overtime, which are 2 tough teams, and then they go to Westminster a couple days ago and lose 3-0. So they're on the rebound just like we are, and their whole message is going to be the same as ours, and that's come out strong and come out fast and try and get one early.
Hello, Hard Rocker fans. So volleyball had a really good weekend. We went to Aberdeen, South Dakota for a tournament at Northern State. We played 4 matches over 3 days. We played Moorhead on Thursday afternoon, which was sort of a rematch from the weekend before. Beat them in 4. Thought we played really well. Good warm up to the weekend. The next day we played Northern State and New Mexico Highlands. We beat Northern in 4 on their floor, which felt really good for us. They're a really tough team, especially in that conference. New Mexico Highlands is the best I've ever seen that program be. So a really tough win for us. We definitely had to earn that one. And I think they're going to be really, really tough for our conference this year. So that'll be fun to play again when we see them down the road. Got a little bit of a break, but the next morning we had to wake up and face Augustana out of Sioux Falls. They are a solid team. I mean, by far the best team we have played yet this year. So, they pushed us to the limits. We definitely did not play our best volleyball. A few mistakes early on, but really it just came down to us not connecting offensively, which kind of led to our 4-set loss against them. But really good challenge for us this early. Kind of proud of the things we've seen. Deja and JC were named to the all-tournament team for their performances this weekend, which well-deserved. Deja continues to be the most reliable kid we have on the floor. We want the ball to be in her hands all the time, and she is just the life of our team at this point. She keeps us going nonstop. JC is definitely one to be reckoned with. She's offensively really hard to stop, and as a block, she can really frustrate our opponents. And this weekend, I thought the 2 of them showed up bigger than they ever have. And if we can really get them to continue to show up and be dominant the way they have been, I think we're going to be in a really good spot. So all in all, 3-1 on the weekend. I feel really good about it. We're 6-2 to start the season. I feel great about that start. As we begin RMAC play, we have 0 break as we turn around to play BH tomorrow in Spearfish. So at this point, we have played more volleyball games in the past 2 weeks than we have practiced. So it's really just about resting, recovering, making sure our bodies are feeling good, our minds are on the next match, and just looking forward to BH. So they got the day off yesterday. We'll get after it today. I think they moved on to BH the minute that Augustana game was over on Saturday. So we're ready to face them. Playing BH is always tough. It doesn't matter what the year is or who they have or who we have. It doesn't matter. Playing BH is always a fun one. So we go down to Spearfish tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Obviously, would love to see a bunch of our fans there. Should always be a great environment playing them at their place. So pretty excited about that. And then this Friday, we turn around and host Western State at home at 6 p.m. So a little earlier than normal for a Friday game, but hopefully we'll get a big house and lots of fans for the first time to see our Hard Rockers play this year. And honestly, the first time in a long time since we've been able to have an event that's real, normal, everyone's allowed in, we can do our thing. So we're really excited to begin RMAC play, and hopefully we can keep this thing rolling.
Hello, Hard Rocker fans. This is Charlie Floor talking about football. Obviously, a very exciting game for us last Saturday night. Came out victorious over Mayville State out of North Dakota. Very proud of our team and the process they went through that week. Knowing that big things for us were trying to improve from week 1 to week 2. And, there were a lot of things that we talked about as a football team the week before that we needed to improve on, and I felt we did that. It was really important for us to come out and start fast in that football game, and really in all 3 phases of the game. Offensively, we made the decision to start with the ball right away and put points on the board, which we felt we could do, and it just really helped us out as the flow of the football game. And so very proud of our kids for that. Defensively, they were very optimistic, made a lot of great plays. Gavin Chaddock, for once, kind of sticks out just in regards to the amount of pressure he got on the quarterback. Ended up having an interception. Kendall Johnson also had an interception in the first half. So just very proud of how our defense came out and played. to start that football game off. So, exciting times for us right now, going into a rivalry week, really the first conference game as well, going in 2-0, which is something that we talked about as a football team, knowing that we would need that momentum to go down to Shadron. And that's where we're at this week, preparing for a rivalry game. It's a trophy game for us, going to go into a hostile environment. We were able to play them twice last year and unfortunately lost both of those games. So I know our kids are going to be ready. They're going to be excited to go down there and play a very tough Shadron team. Shadron right now is an 0-2 football team, but probably one of the best 0-2 football teams in Division II right now. They've played two very quality opponents and played very close games, and they're getting an opportunity just like we are for their first conference game, knowing that they still have a lot of goals ahead of them. So our main focus this week is just continue to worry about us, improve the things that we need to work on from week 2 to week 3. It's going to be a very physical football game, so we're going to try and prepare our kids for that as best as we can, and go play for a full 60 minutes and just kind of see how things play out. Expecting, like I said, a very good environment from their standpoint. Would love to see all of our Hard Rocker fans down there at 6:30 p.m. Down in Shadron, and look forward to a very good football game.